My dad was a steel worker. I'm third generation steel worker in the family.
I'm proud to be a steel worker. My dad was proud to be a steel worker. My grandfather was proud to be a steel worker. And if I had a son, I'd be proud of him being a steel worker.
I have 30 years in the mill, a little over 30 years in the mill, and I am 10th from the bottom of the seniority list. I am one of the youngest people in the mill.
Since 1986, I've been laid off probably 10 times.
We're all in this together. This isn't a business class at Harvard. These are real people. They have real families, they have real lives, they have real interests. Treat it as such.
When you went into the mill, you were pretty well set for life.
I thought it was one of the best things that ever happened to me.
I remember when you couldn't drive through town, it was so booming. The pollution laws weren't that strict at that time, and you could hardly see 20 feet in front of you because of graphite. It was just very difficult to even see. It'd be like going to China today. The mill was very robust. We did very well. We had our own coke plants, to our blast furnaces, to our BOP caster. We made hot roll, cold roll, template, chrome. We had all those product lines. The maximum the steel company ever employed was about 14,000 employees. We're at 923 employees now. My name's Mark Liptis. I'm president of Local 2911. I'm an hour worker by trade. I ran for the president of the union and was elected in 1991. In 1984, Weirton became the largest industrial ESOP in the world. So the employees, we were part of National Steel. The employees bought the corporation by sacrificing about 30% of their wages and benefits in order to buy the plant. We did very well for about 5 years. And then we diluted our ownership by going public with our stock. We had a very nice forecast for profitability in a 5-year forecast.
My name's Joe Price. I'm 2 months away from being 51 years old. I've been just about every place in that mill. And then after 10 years in there, a bid came up for diesel shop, which had to do with locomotives. I took that bid. They sent me to school for 5 years, trained me, and I loved that job. And I was good at it. We had a very diverse workforce between older and younger guys that you learn from. It was almost like a fraternity, you know. Our motto was we were never going to shut down the mill because they ran out of engines to move the steel around the yard, and we never did.
That all changed when the government did not enforce the trade laws of our country and allowed what turned out to be illegal dumping of product into our markets. And that continued until about 42 steel companies ultimately went bankrupt. In the year 2003, we ended up going bankrupt. We were about number 40 out of that group. During the bankruptcy process, many people were hurt significantly, particularly our retirees had their health care benefits eroded, and that our pensions, which we had very good pensions here, were picked up by the PBGC, the Pension Benefit Guarantee Corporation. The amount that you will receive from the PBGC was based on your age at the time of the pension plan termination, which occurred during the bankruptcy. Most people were hurt significantly.
They just had a chart and they said, this is how old you are, this is how much you're going to get for your pension. So I was 44 years old. So I looked at mine and it reduced mine right off the bat by $400. So, and that's what I'm stuck with. I can't build on it. I can't make it go up any higher. That's it. My name is David Ford. I'm 50 years old and presently out of work. When I got into the mill, that was probably the final ending years of coming out of high school and getting into the mill.
While in bankruptcy, we were purchased by ISG, International Steel Group. Then Metal bought ISG. Then Metal and Arcelor merged to form the corporation called ArcelorMetal. It's the largest steel company 3 times over. When the industry consolidated, merged and acquired each other, hundreds of thousands of steelworkers lost their jobs.
First, it was like when you first came in the mill, you get your 2 years in, you're okay, you're set. You ain't got to worry about nothing. Well, after 2 years came in, you got laid off. Then it got to the point, well, you got to have 5 years in to be steady. Well, you get your 5 years in, another layoff. Another few years goes by, 15 years, 17, boom, hit the street again, you know. It's never ending. Frank Pope, 57 years old. I've been a steelworker since 1977 when I started in the mill.
We were told out of the blue that we were going to be laid off, and it was going to be long term.
I was laid off for 2 years. They called me back to work for 2 weeks, and they laid me off again.
Basically, you have a voluntary layoff and you have involuntary layoff. They come through and they say, we need so many people to be laid off. And layoffs have been in that mill ever since my career has been in it. We understand it. When times slow down, you don't need as many people, so you get laid off for a while. And when production usually comes back up, you come back to work. But my case being involuntary, we didn't have a choice.
These people just come right up to you and said, hey, I mean, not even a hello, or not even a cup of coffee. It's like, hey, you finish up tomorrow. You're done. My name's Joseph, middle initial G, Magnone, G standing for Guido, and 50 years old. I graduated from Weir High School in 1977, and immediately went into the mill after that. Yes, I'm very proud to be a steel worker. I'm proud to be the man my dad raised. I'm proud to be him.
Huge pain had occurred, huge pain. And it was 100% of it, in my view, was the result of the government not enforcing the laws that were already on the books. 42 steel companies then all of a sudden forget how to make steel and all went bankrupt. They went bankrupt because it was impossible for us to compete on a worldwide basis.
Now they're shipping everything overseas to have things built. So my generation, like I said, I think I'm at the end of that particular area, maybe a few years after me, you know, somewhere right around in there. But we had manufacturing jobs to go to. Well, they're all going away. They're all downsizing, and we're going right down with them.
When you had 16,000 people working here, the downtown area used to be vibrant.
First, the children left because they couldn't find work here. And now the parents are retiring and they're going closer to their families that have left the area.
The town was really dirty. We were losing a lot of people. And I thought if I can clean this town up, then our chances would be a lot better of bringing new businesses into town and also bringing new citizens into town. I'm Mayor Mark Harris, City of Weirton. A lot of people want to think the steel mill's coming back, and they're not used to change. So if I can get everybody in the city of Weirton to know that you cannot move Weirton forward without change, then I did something. But if you cannot do that, then I don't think we'll ever move forward.
Steel was one of the backbones of this country, and now it's being swept away. It's just a nuisance.
We're a fraction of what we were, but we have a very good outlook for the future. Might not be in steel, but it'll be in industry.